Hi and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Tonight we're going to talk with several different nonprofits, very different from each other, about good things they're doing in their community. First guest tonight is Andre Middleton. He is the Community Services Coordinator for Racc, which is the Regional Arts and Culture Council.
That's right.
Thank you for being here, Andre.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Now, the Regional Arts and Culture Council, or Racc as they're more commonly known, have been around for a while and kind of have their finger in a lot of pies as far as arts and culture go. Can you tell us a little bit about what they do and what the mission is?
Oh yeah, the mission of Racc is to enrich our communities through culture and art. They do this in a variety of ways. First off is advocacy. They advocate for local artists and for art on a national stage. We also have a great grant program that offers grants to local artists, individuals, and nonprofit art organizations with much needed financial support. We also have an amazing public art program that has art all over the region. In fact, we've got art in Gresham, Beaverton, Portland, all over. Sculptures, they have a great public art program that actually gets local artists into office buildings around town.
Which is really cool.
Which is a lot of fun. I know we've seen a variety of artists come through our offices with paintings and sculptures. It's a great program.
So let me start with the first one you said was advocacy. So how do you advocate for an artist? What does that mean?
Well, basically we try to create a cultural environment in Portland that supports art. Whether we're lobbying Salem, whether we're lobbying City Hall, whether we're raising money through the Work for Art program that gets local corporations to match donations of their employees.
Oh, okay.
Right, so basically it's a great way of making sure that art is everywhere. We have a great program called the Right Brain Initiative that makes sure that every student in the metropolitan area has arts in their classrooms.
And haven't they found that really helps kids in their actual scholastic work to have that balance of the arts?
Oh, it does. It does a lot. Yeah. In many ways, it's not by teaching a direct art class, but it's introducing art into an English class or a math class, or using music and using movement to get the kids' minds thinking in different ways.
So when you're talking about art, it's not just painting, it's music, it's dance, it's any kind of art form.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about our grant program is that we provide grants to individual artists as well as art organizations. I was recently set down on a panel that provided grant money for artists to develop their craft. So there were writers, there were painters who said, hey, I need a little extra help getting to this symposium that's going to help me develop my skills.
Okay. So I know I've known of a lot of artists who have gotten help with, maybe they were developing or they were writing a play and they wanted some help getting that, bringing it to, to actually be produced, or to get the art, a dance program going, that kind of thing. But it's all kinds, and you don't have to be a professional.
No, that's actually right. We offer the grants you mentioned, those are project grants. Okay. So we offer grants that, hey, if you just need a little extra help bringing your project to the market or bringing your project to completion, we're happy to step in and help you do that. We offer operational support for organizations. So there's a lot of theater groups or dance troupes that just need a little help. We also offer consulting services. So if you're trying to make your art project or art organization a little more professional, we help with tax preparation. We don't help with it, but we offer workshops in tax preparation, in bookkeeping, in painting murals. In fact, starting in January through June, we offer a series of artist development workshops.
Well, and that's one of the things I know that you wanted to talk about tonight. Now, that's the Artists Workshop Series, correct? So that's January through June. That's a long time. What kind of art are we talking about? Is this any kind of art?
Any kind of art. We've got a music panel happening in early February. It's called The Happening 2015. We're going to have musicians, labels, bookers, all in a room talking about how to navigate Portland's music scene.
So that somebody who's brand new, who's maybe just kind of starting out as a musician, or even if they've been around for a while and just have trouble, maybe getting booked at certain venues, or just getting their stuff published.
Oh yeah, getting CDs manufactured, getting posters made. It's going to be a great forum for people to come and listen to experts and listen to current musicians and how they just understand how they all work together.
Is it a panel? Is there give and take?
Is there a time for questions
and that kind of thing?
It's going to be a panel discussion by like 4 or 5 experts, and then we've got other experts that are going to lead breakout sessions where you can get even a more intimate, closer discussion about how how the music scene works.
And where will they hold this?
This one's going to be at the Holocene on February 8th from 3 to 6. But that's just one of a lot of workshops. In fact, I'm going to be doing a workshop, which is going to be another panel discussion called Opening the Door, Getting Your Art Out of the Studio into the World. And it's going to, we're going to have a panelist of a gallery owner, a writer, a sculptor, and someone who actually works for Racc in the Public Arts Department to show people how they can get their artwork out of their brains and into the world making the money.
That's pretty cool. So is there a different topic every month, or is there more than one topic every month?
Actually, sometimes there's more than one topic. Our topics range from grant writing to painting murals. In fact, the mural workshop is going to be happening over at the Rosewood Initiative.
Oh,
so,
yeah. So right out in this part of...
Right out in this part of the neck of the woods, exactly.
Cool, okay. So if people are interested in being part of this, can they attend it as just somebody to watch? Do they have to be an artist to be part of it?
Well, you don't have to be an artist to be part of it, but we do charge a small fee for each class because basically that's how the workshops pay for themselves.
Right.
And if you visit www.racc.org, that's with 2 C's, and go to resources, you can see a list of all the workshops that we're offering.
Okay, good. Well, this sounds like fun, actually.
Thank you.
So, who would you encourage to go to that? Obviously new budding artists, but do you think people that have been around in the art world for a while would benefit from that as well?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, if only to learn more about what Racc offers. I mean, there are students who show up because they're new to town and they're new to the scene, and there are established artists who might be new. It's really a great way to learn more about what Racc offers and how you can just basically prioritize, maximize your creativity in the art scene.
Cool. Now, as community services coordinator, you've obviously had a lot of to do with putting this together, I assume. What other kinds of things do you do in that position?
Well, in that position, I'm doing a lot of outreach. The other thing I do, as far as outreach is concerned, is that Racc holds a quarterly artist networking get-together called Art Spark. And Art Spark
happens, a couple of those, yeah.
Art Spark happens at local venues, restaurants, and bars around town, where we invite artists to come and learn about not only specific Racc programs, but to meet and commiserate with other artists.
It's kind of a networking thing, and just
it's basically,
and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
A lot. It's basically a quarterly party where you get to meet other painters, other sculptors, other musicians. I've seen a lot of collaborative projects be born out of this process, where people said, I was looking for a musician to help me with this score. Or, I've been wanting to use movement into my project, and they've actually made some really great connections through Art Spark.
That's great. What are some of the places where this has been held? I know I went to one at, I think the Green Dragon one time, downtown. So different bars I went.
Wow, they've been held at the Alberta Abbey, at the Radio Room, at Ford Food and Drink, all over town, east side and west.
So you have one coming up anytime soon?
The next Art Spark is going to be happening on the 3rd Thursday in June. We don't have a location set up just yet.
So we have a little ways to wait
for
the next one.
a little ways, but the future department that's going to be there sharing what they do is going to be our grant department. Grants are on a yearly cycle, and we wanted to figure, let's start off the year by letting people know what grant deadlines are going to be happening throughout the year.
How many grants do you give out? Do you have any idea?
Oh
I know there's a lot of them.
If I had to guess, I want to say there's like 3 or 4 primary categories, and within each category, there's probably at least, dare I say, 15 to maybe even 50 different grants that are awarded for each category.
Wow. And so, it varies from really small to much larger, right?
Give me
an example of somebody that we may have heard of that has received grants.
Oh my gosh, there's so many artists that have received grants in Portland. Abu Adi, the dearly departed Abu Adi, he's received grants from Racc. There's been painters, sculptors, dancers, writers.
And you say in groups too, like a theater group, like Milagro Theater.
Oh yeah, Milagro
like
Theater, the Portland Playhouse, like you said, Milagro. There's just so many.
I know.
I mean, and
you don't have your whole list here.
No, I don't have the whole list. But you're right about it. And and a lot of those grants start off with small individuals who are just getting big, and then once they get big, they start collaborating. They start forming new organizations around what they do. So it's really from incubating up until sharing with the broader community.
A lot of people too, when they get a little bigger and they have some success, they mentor other people. And so can you use some of those people as volunteers at Racc? Do you have people that are willing to do that kind of thing? I guess supposedly like on the panels.
Well, yes, on the panels, but also Racc's Right Brain Initiative actually uses working local artists to bring art into schools.
Okay.
So that's a great way that local artists who want to give back, who want to work, and that's those are usually compensated. So and in fact, a lot of the artists that teach the workshops are compensated.
Oh, okay.
So Racc wants to make sure the artists are being
supporting
paid their
them.
worth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. So what is the biggest need that Racc has? I mean, is it a need for people to, like at the Right Brain Initiative, or, and you have a lot of different programs. You said there's Right Brain Initiative,
Right.
there's Work for Art.
Yeah.
And what other organization? I mean, what other?
Well,
like Racc is the umbrella, right?
Right, Racc is a pretty big umbrella, and I mean, we need artists to consider contributing work to the public art.
Okay, yeah. So tell me about the public art, because we didn't get to that part yet. Tell me a little bit more.
Well, the public art basically maintains and manages a city, actually region-wide art collection that's out in the public. We have a public art collection that is basically artworks that can be placed in office buildings around town, usually government office buildings. We have an installation space that is site-specific in the Portland building, where it rotates between different artists throughout the year. So if you've got an installation that you want to do, Racc actually has access to a space where you can do it in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
it's an amazing
So a lot of the
program.
street art stuff that we see on the street,
Sculptures,
and,
yeah,
a lot
without
of
a
that
doubt.
is a lot of that. Is most of that, would you say, is that through Racc?
Most of it, yeah. Another thing the public art does is they maintain a program called Percent for Art, and that means that a percentage of capital budget that goes to improve parts of Portland, a percentage of that has to be dedicated to creating new art for that area. So, for example, recently they built the not just the trolley, but the new streetcar that loops around downtown Portland, as well as the Trillican Bridge. A percentage of those funds that were used to build those capital improvements are being dedicated to creating art in the area.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's nice. It makes everybody's place better too.
No, it does. It does. And remember, and a lot of these programs are region-wide. I mean, we're a tri-county area. It's Clackamas, it's Multnomah, and I want to say Washington County as well.
Okay, cool. Now, what are some of the other programs? You brought a couple things here.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, tell me
Well,
more
this is a little brochure. Racc supports people making murals in Portland. And
places where they're allowed to, where they might want to normally put some graffiti, they can actually have the okay to do it.
You can either do it through the city, and Racc actually has a matching grant program where if you can get half of the resources you need to paint your mural, Racc will cover the other half.
Great.
So that's a great program. Racc also has Arts for All. This is a brochure where if you're getting support through the Oregon Trail Card, you can get $5 tickets to venues all over town. The opera, theater,
ballet,
dance, ballet. It's a great program, and usually they'll sell them in pairs. And if you need more, you can call ahead and ask for more.
That's great.
Great program. You can go visit our website, get more information about the variety of all of these participants. There's over 70 participants.
Wow, that's a great deal.
Right. And then we've got Work for Art. Work for Art is a giving program that provides funds. It's a fundraiser for all the programs that we do.
And this is through your workplace. This is workplace giving?
It is workplace giving, but you can also visit our website and donate as an individual as well.
Okay.
A great benefit of this program is that if you give $60 or more over the course of the year, we're going to give you an arts card. And that arts card gives you 2-for-1 tickets at a variety of venues all over town.
Can't lose.
I mean, it pays for itself.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a great program. And last but not least is Brain Food. This is actually my favorite. Brain Food is an amazingly fun activity book for kids.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
For what ages?
I'd say between 10 and 14.
Oh.
They're arts programs. They're just fun. There's rhymes, riddles, jokes, games you could play with your kids, games kids can play with themselves.
That would be a lovely holiday present.
It would make a lovely, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm thinking right now of somebody that would enjoy that. So.
And once again, if you visit the Racc page and go to the Right Brain Initiative, you can actually buy this right from online.
Great. Well, we're just about out of time now, Andre. That time went really fast.
Thank you
but
so
there's
much
a
for
lot
having
going on at Racc, and thanks for thank you for being here. So if people want more information, we'll have the website up on the screen and they can check it out.
Great. I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. Hope you learned something about Racc and all the wonderful things they have to offer. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with Community Hotline.
media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.